obviously everything you do today is pointing toward 2 weeks from now and winning football games in the future. Is that something that you want to put in the back of teams' minds, that this is an option, this is something you guys can do?
Yeah, I mean, it is an option, so whether it's in their mind or not, I mean, that's up to them, but we got two guys who can play, and well, we've been doing it in practice a little bit, wanted to do it out there in the game, and I think it's always going to be an option.
You know, Chris, I remember when Jimmy Garoppolo told reporters about a visit by Drew Brees to practice, and the question was set up in a different way than Jimmy Garoppolo answered it. He answered it along the lines of advice he got from Drew Brees on how to deal with shuttling on and off the field for another quarterback and how Jimmy G was going to deal with that. And through that, I interpreted that Jimmy Garoppolo's kind of given up the goat here on what they're planning to do. They're going to have a Drew Brees, Taysom Hill arrangement, maybe with even more Trey Lance than we saw of Taysom Hill during the past few years in New Orleans. And I know that when I wrote that and tweeted it, I got pushback from some of the 49ers media saying, oh, Kyle's been saying that for weeks. That's not news. That's not news. Kyle's been saying that for weeks. Okay, fine. Frankly, my reaction was Kyle's been all over the place. And now it's clear he is all over the place because he's asked about it yesterday. And here, let's have a listen, because we were led to believe, and let's say that Kyle was consistent throughout training camp in the preseason about using two quarterbacks regularly, and that meshes with everything Jimmy Garoppolo said that made us say, holy crap, they really are going to do this full-blown two-quarterback thing. Here we are 3 weeks in. They're not. Here's Kyle from yesterday talking about it.
Because Trey's our backup quarterback. I mean, this isn't the preseason. We're not just going back and forth all the time. I mean, Trey goes in for specific plays or things we want to do. Trey's week in and week out. He gets better each week the more reps he gets on scout team and stuff like that. But there's not a big decision going into that each week. If we put in a game plan for our starting quarterback, the backup needs to be able to do all of that if he gets hurt. And what's cool about Trey is because of his different skill set, we always keep him alive with a couple plays on situations.
During training camp, you talked about using the two-quarterback system, and you said that Trey Lance was too good to keep off the field. But through the first 3 games, it really hasn't played out that way. So why'd you change your mind on that?
I didn't change my mind. We have put him on the field. We do it in situations. You can go with whatever you want when I say in training camp, and you can expand on that or not. But, I think I was asked coming off the field of our third game if we'd see this in the regular season. I said probably not. So I think a lot of words have been put in my mouth with some of that stuff are exaggerated pretty big. So I pretty much keep it pretty real to everyone, but I don't just tell everyone the answer. I have no problem with you guys overdoing that. And Detroit working on that extremely hard. But I've been pretty consistent with what I've said. It was preseason, it was fun to do, but it has to do with the team we're playing the next week. It doesn't have to do with the reactions. It has to do with how people prepare for people.
Chris, you know this guy far better than I ever will. Can you help us make sense of what he just said, what we just heard? He keeps it real with everyone, but he's not telling anyone exactly what the hell he's doing. I don't even know that he knows what he's doing.
Well, he does know
frankly,
what he's doing.
On this issue.
Yeah, I understand the questions. I do. And listen, I'm going to make this clear. I have not talked to Kyle Shanahan other than hey, and I haven't even talked to him other than text and hello since training camp started. So I just want everybody to know that. I have no inside information. I'm not a mouthpiece here. He calls me Johnny Media. He doesn't want to talk to me about these things, all right? So everybody's got to realize that. Because I get too many people that think I'm speaking for Kyle or anything like that. I just want to make that clear, all right? I think first off, was there some gamesmanship going on? Certainly. Okay. He definitely was letting people maybe think there was going to be a little bit more Trey Lance than what we've seen. I think for the reasons he just tried to explain right there. He wants teams to prepare for it. Has there been a package, for Trey Lance in every game? I'm sure there has been. Yeah, we haven't seen maybe the full package, but we've seen in the first game, we saw a few plays, and last week we, of course, saw the touchdown, right? But I will say this, too. I do think we're part of this little issue, me as well. I mean, I'm not trying to a lot of people thought like, hey, we're going to see a package of plays every game, hands down, and we kind of put those words, I think, into Shanahan's mouth, or we just thought it would happen for sure because it was Trey Lance. They traded 3 first-round picks. He was the number 3 pick of the draft. We know they're not that happy with Jimmy Garoppolo. So I do think that a little bit of that has been just insinuated by the media, and we've kind of gone with that, and I'm included in that. I thought we would see more, 100%. But I take him at his word for everything else there. I don't know if it's necessarily been all over the place with this subject. I can agree with you maybe in some of the draft process stuff here, but, again, here, I do think all of us just thought there was going to be something more to it. He kind of just let it fester and go, and it became a thing. And now that he hasn't played, everyone's like, well, wait, you kind of said this. And I think he's trying to say, no, I really didn't. I didn't quite say it to the point to where everybody's kind of emphasizing it. You kind of guys just said it, and I just kind of let it go and played off of that. At least that's my take.
I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree. I continue to believe that he had every intention of going to quarterback until the moment that Trey Lance showed him he was ready to take the reins, and that Jimmy Garoppolo didn't like it. Jimmy Garoppolo's got the locker room on his side. Trey Lance hasn't been good enough to win over the locker room, and they decided, they being Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, Adam Peters, whoever else in the organization, they made the conscious decision, you know what? We're better off just riding Jimmy. Our big concern about Jimmy is he can't stay healthy. So this is simple. We'll go all in with Jimmy. We'll use Trey surgically like they did with that
touchdown run.
Touchdown with 2 seconds left when Trent Williams put Eric Stokes into the 10th row of here it is. I don't know. I mean, the run's not all that impressive, although it's high-stakes poker. You got to get to the end zone, but it's easier to get to the end zone when Trent Williams is forcing Eric Stokes to do a backward somersault. But not nearly to the extent we thought he was going to be used. I think that the strategy now is Jimmy Garoppolo is the guy, Trey's the backup, as Kyle said yesterday, and that's the way it stays until Jimmy G gets injured or plays so poorly that the locker room
can't
pivots.
Deny it anymore a little bit. Yeah.
Because Chris, if what Kyle said yesterday is true, okay, why did he say what he said yesterday? What unless this is some next level Jedi mind trick stuff where now he's trying to lay the foundation for more Trey Lance, and he's just going to bounce all over the place because this is all about keeping the opponent guessing. There's no reason to say what he said yesterday because what he said yesterday puts it all to bed, and it is Jimmy G all the time. So unless he's gonna spin it around and we're going to see a bunch of Trey Lance this weekend against the Seahawks, there's no reason for him to come out and say why there's a perception of inconsistency, if that makes any sense.
It does make sense.
Listen, he's better off letting the uncertainty linger.
Well, we have listen, we both don't know here. You say a lot of things there that certainly, listen, that makes sense 100%. I don't know here either. I think more yesterday what he's putting to bed is not necessarily that, and that they're not going to use Trey Lance here and there in some situations. More that people are like, is this going to start splitting more and more time as we go forward here because you lost the game and the offense wasn't as good. And I think that's what he's trying to say. Like, no, this isn't like I'm going every week into this going like, man, should I play Trey Lance or do something like that more this week? I think he's trying to just put it to bed that, no, Jimmy's the starter, and they'll have a few wrinkles with Trey Lance. And one other thing, just to add to this, because I know you want to say something, is just I don't disagree with you a little bit in the preseason. Maybe there was a thought of like more of a Taysom Hill attack. I go back to what we saw on film, which is a guy that was really raw, and I think he probably realized, wait, unlike Taysom Hill, who, the Saints could run the ball with and then also throw the ball with a handful of times, and they could trust him. I think he was a little bit like, whoa, I don't know if I can trust this guy yet. He's young, he's a rookie, and I don't know if we can go there yet. So I'll maybe condense that small package as we go on through the season and just have a few plays for him here and there. That would be my take, Mike. So go ahead. What do you want to say?
Well, I've said many times in the past that I think Kyle Shanahan could become the next Bill Belichick. The longevity, the experience, the smarts, the offensive firepower that he has, the way he can draw up the game plans and take advantage of the defensive weaknesses, etc. But this kind of gets back to what we discussed yesterday with Mike McCarthy, that it's incumbent on a coach to sell himself to the media and the fans. I think that Kyle needs to spend time this offseason coming up studying Bill Belichick at press conferences, because the best way around all of this and the best way to avoid the impression that he doesn't know what the hell he's doing when it comes to his quarterbacks, because that's the impression that some could come away with, is to just say, I'm going to do whatever's in the best interest of the team. What are you going to do about quarterback? Whatever's in, we're going to do whatever it takes to win. That's our goal. We're just trying to win. And I know that at some level, a coach feels compelled to give more. You don't have to give more than that. And unless this is a deliberate attempt to keep everyone guessing all the time and to keep the upcoming opponents on their toes constantly and uncertain about what they're going to see, it really has created the impression that he doesn't know. He's all over the place. He's impulsive. His plans are changing. The plan is there is no plan. And maybe it would be in his best interest to just revert to the classic Bill Belichick answers like, hey, I appreciate your question, but we're going to make whatever decisions we have to make about personnel based upon what's in the best interest of the team at that given time. And it's not in my interest to share those specifics with you. Now, Belichick isn't even that polite about it. He just grumbles and says, we're going to do what's best for the team. But if Kyle wants to be more accommodating, he could add some other words and basically give a Belichickian answer.
Sure.
But maybe he'd be better off in that neighborhood than in the neighborhood of creating this impression that either he has no plan or he doesn't know what the plan is, or he's constantly changing his plan because his plan isn't working.
I will say this, he's my friend. I know him. He's a really smart guy. He almost always has a plan from anything I've ever seen. So that's where I will stick up for him. Did he maybe have a plan and, sketched it on a little, napkin or paper going into training camp to how it might play out? But then you reevaluate. Oh, wait, it's not playing out quite the way I thought. So then it changes a little bit there too. And again, still, he's a young coach. He'll learn how to talk to maybe the media better and everything that way. I mean, yes. But I do think the media, and me included, I'm putting this, kind of put the, cart in front of the horse a little bit with that whole conversation too. And I think he kind of just let it fester and go. And I think, maybe we've misled all of ourselves here in this conversation.
Well,
yeah.
Two things. He's got to quit playing mad scientist with, hey, let's see how the media runs with this false narrative like he did with Mac Jones. Because the cart does get before the horse.
You're right. I hear you.
The horse does get out of the barn, and then it takes too much work to undo the damage. Secondly, I'm going to go back to where we started. When Jimmy Garoppolo pivots into the conversation he had with Drew Brees about how you deal with this coming off the field for the other quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo, whose head is at least partially crafted out of meat. We've established that over the years. Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to be part of this broader plan to sell us all on some confusion. He believed, or he doesn't have that conversation with Drew Brees.
I get you there.
I
get you there.
On and off the field.
I get you there.
So if Kyle fooled everyone else, you know who else he fooled? He fooled his starting quarterback too.
Well, maybe. And again, maybe that's where the assessing of the plan came as he went forward and started to realize, wait, Trey Lance quite isn't ready. And wait, this is affecting my locker room and my quarterback a little bit. And maybe that's where it got backed off. And, again, maybe we wouldn't be here in that conversation too if Jimmy doesn't have that conversation with Drew Brees and share it with the world. I'm sure Shanahan wasn't thrilled that Jimmy G shared that with everybody, because he was probably like, wait, yeah, this is kind of my plan, but it's not in stone. I'm still evaluating the situation and trying to, figure it out as we go forward. So we'll see where it goes. I think it's going to be about what we saw. There's going to be a handful of plays every week for Trey Lance, and if Shanahan finds the moment that he thinks it's going to schematically screw over the other team, you'll see him in there.
That's far different, though, than the regular and repeated use of Trey Lance, the way that Sean Payton used Taysom Hill. regularly and repeatedly with Drew Brees. And I just, look, I'm a firm believer in Occam's razor that the simplest explanation is usually the most accurate. I think that they fully intended to go with a 2-quarterback system, and Jimmy Garoppolo didn't like it. The locker room is behind him. Trey Lance isn't good enough yet to win over the locker room, so they just decided, hey, our main concern about Jimmy G's his ability to stay healthy. So now we don't have Nick Mullins. We don't have C.J. Beathard. We've got Trey Lance. Let's just go let Jimmy go until the wheels come off. And if they do, that's when Trey Lance has his opportunity to win over the locker room. I think that's the truth.
Mike, I'm not going to disagree with you. I mean, I hear you there. I think there's a lot of logic there that makes sense. I think you add in some of the other things we've said, and maybe that's where it's gotten to. Yeah, I'm not gonna totally disagree with you.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.